Futurist Jim Carroll from the virtual broadcast studio, which is today a spaceship with my Ask.A.Futurist series. What I'm doing is I'm giving people the opportunity to send in their questions about what comes next, the story behind the headlines, interpretation of what is going on in our world today. The question came in today, what's with all this GameStop stuff? What is really happening? And related to that, with COVID-19, are we ever really going back to normal? Are we ever really going back to work? Well, I love taking on questions like these because to me, what this represents, these are symptoms only of a larger trend which is at work. The larger trend which is happening here, when we look at the craziness happening around GameStop and the issues of what comes next after COVID-19, for me, it really involves what is going on with the arrival of the gaming generation into the workplace, into industries, and disrupting our world. I think you need to think about the larger trend that is happening here with that generation. The gaming generation, number one, they have absolutely no attention span. They live in a world of short, sharp, instant shocks of information. They have developed a form of lightning thinking, which is based upon years of participating in video games. And as they come into the workplace and they come into industries, they are bringing that form of lightning thinking into industries at staggering speed. To a degree, they have a lot of generational impatience. They look at the structures, they look at the methodologies, they look at the regulations which are in place, and they say, we can do things in a different way because we think in a different way. And the way they think in a different way is they are very fast collaborators. If you understand the gaming generation, their minds are wired differently because they act in packs of a collective whole, which is combined through massive collaboration online. The result of that is that they are massively interactive in their thinking, in their approach to work, in their approach to industries, and in terms of what they are doing. The impact of all of this is that they know their power. They realize that they have something which is fundamentally different in terms of what they can do within industries. And so what they are doing, and we're finding that with the GameStop situation, is they are disrupting entire industries based upon these premises, based upon these new capabilities. What is happening here in the larger trend, which is at work, is they are really defining the future. And so what we're seeing with GameStop is simply a symptom of a larger issue. The larger issue and the larger trend is this. What does this mean from an industry perspective? What does this mean from a regulatory perspective? What does this mean from a structural perspective? How will it change business models going forward? That's the trend. That's what you need to be thinking about. And this is related to our eventual return to work in the era of the eventual end of COVID-19. I get a lot of folks asking me, what's going to happen with a return to work? Are we going to go back to where we were? Are we all going to rush back to offices? I highly doubt that to be the case with the gaming generation because they have discovered freedom, they have discovered lifestyle, they have discovered a new form of carving out their own space using the technology, using the collaboration, using the lightning thinking, which is so much at a part of their generational core. This is the type of issue that I'm taking on with my Ask a Futurist video series. And what you can do is you can visit ask.jimcarroll.com and send in your own question. If you think about this generational issue, I've talked about this from a larger perspective. The arrival of virtual reality technology, augmented reality. We are going to see virtual welding. We are going to see virtual healthcare. We are going to see the gaming generation arriving into the workplace, and they are going to cause further disruption. There are larger trends at work here than simply what is going on with GameStop. And that's where we need to think about the future. That's where we need to think about trends. That's where we need to think about what comes next. I want you to send in your question to ask.jimcarroll.com and I will take a look at it. And maybe I'll come down into my spaceship here and I'll take a look at what it means for us as we go forward into the future in which the future belongs to those who are fast. Futurist Jim Carroll from the future.